Camera number 88 of 365 is the Nikon F65. The camera requires a battery to operate all its functions, so let's go ahead and put a battery into the camera. So the batteries that are housed in this camera are two CR2s, and we lift up the door and place the positive terminal uppermost. Now there is a weakness in this camera, being a plastic camera, and it's this battery door has a little latch, and if we're not careful it breaks, so we need to exercise caution when closing that, otherwise we have to end up taping it. So to take the lens off the camera, we just simply depress the lens release button and rotate clockwise. I've included the Nikon 70-300 because it's in the same champagne colour as the body of the F65. So on the left hand side we have a lamp assist for focus, and also a remote control sensor. And on the other side we have the ability to switch from autofocus to manual focus. We can see the pin pops up and closes. And then just above the lens release there is a button that allows us to choose our focus point. So if we press the button and use the command dial, we can hopefully see through the little liquid crystal display there, we can actually choose our focus point. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 focus points. Okay, so that's pretty much it as regards the front of the camera. So let's just put the lens back on. No, actually leave the lens off. Let's just leave the lens off. Okay, turning to the top plate, the left hand side, we have our dial where we can choose our various modes, creative modes, and also our other modes. It can be set to auto and therefore becomes a point and shoot camera, or we can turn to the creative modes. We have portrait mode, landscape mode, macro mode, and sports mode, where we have continuous release and nighttime shooting. We can also choose manual, aperture, shutter priority, and another program mode as well. We also have provision to do bracketing, and by pressing the button we can, if we put it on one of the, say, manual mode, put it on bracketing, and then we can choose plus or minus when it comes to our bracketing mode. We also have a self timer, and which also, when pressed again, allows us to use a electronic remote. Turning to the other side, we have our on-off switch, and then the button that has plus and minus exposure compensation. It also is used when we put the camera in manual mode. The command dial will just change the shutter speeds. By pressing that button and using the command dial, we actually change our aperture as well. Note, when you use the little eye cup, you have to lift it out of the way in order to open the film door, which is released like that, like thus. Otherwise it gets in the way. The camera then moves the film onto frame 1. So let's just put the lens back on. And that's it really, as far as the Nikon F65 goes, and that has been camera number 88 of 365.